All right, so we got a segment right here called Impressive or Regressed. So what I'm doing here is I want to...
Impress or regress, I think.
Yeah, impress or regress.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
You said impressive or regress. It didn't
Yeah,
rhyme.
yeah. I thought you was gonna say
Oh.
impressive or regressive.
Yeah, impress or regressed. So what I'm gonna give y'all a list of guys, and I want to know if these guys have impressed you based on your expectations coming into the season, or you're gonna have to take back some of those expectations going into next season.
Like it.
Mikal Bridges is the number one guy.
Is it weird to sit on the fence on this one? I didn't have many true expectations. I think the good parts of Mikal Bridges' game end up showing out more likely than not, but the bad parts really stand out for sure. The 0 for 9 night kind of is nuts, stuff like that. So I didn't think he was about to come in and average 20. So I guess I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah, I would probably say regressive, but just a little bit. I still think he could do a lot of the things that they're probably going to ask for him in the playoffs, like to be able to defend and be able to hit. He's going to make some shots when it comes playoff time.
I'm going to revise it. I don't know if I had many expectations going to this season, but as a whole, as a Knick, he has been regressive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I expected more from him when they traded for him that day, and I just feel like he hasn't provided that. So I'm going to go to regressive.
I would feel the same way.
I would feel the same way. I also feel like it's a tough question to answer right now because he's a guy that what he does in the playoff matters more than what he just did this week or what he's going to do this week.
Yeah.
The Knicks are a playoff team looking to get over the hump, and so last year I didn't really feel no way about him last year, and then he had the Celtics series, and my whole opinion changed.
Yeah.
Because that's where it really matters for me. I don't really need him to be an all-star.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then also just to add on, I think it's kind of when you take a look at the pecking order too. I mean, from what obviously they traded a bunch of picks when he was in Brooklyn and he was averaging a bunch of points, but he still got JB ahead of him. He's got Cat and OG be taking a lot of shots. He's almost fourth in line to really start even getting some shots up. He's gonna have nights where it's low scoring, but nights like with an 0 for 9 and you have 0 points, you can't have those. But the scoring, I can understand just a tad bit.
I wish that the defense was just better. Thinking about how he was all defensive just a few years ago, and
Especially when you are the fourth option.
When we have our episode, we talk about all defensive stuff. Nobody's gonna mention Mikal Bridges. We're gonna mention OG Anunoby, but we won't mention Mikal at all. And I feel like that is maybe where the expectations have died down a little bit. I just watching. I mean, I think he still does this a little bit, but I remember in Phoenix, man, he used to get around those screens so great. It was like, damn, is he the best screen
I used to see
navigator in the
Mikal
world?
Jill get tweeted every day after a Suns game.
And then Brooklyn broke him. Now he just think he got to be a scorer and nothing else.
Next guy we got is Alperen Sengun.
I'm gonna let you and Mike lead this one.
He's been disappointing.
Yeah, I was gonna say disappointing. It's based on what I expected from him coming into this season. It hasn't materialized into what I thought it would be.
Yeah. I would say regressive. Not as much I'm not as hard as some other people are on him. I just think he's really they got him running a lot of out of position stuff. I mean, he kind of does have to act as the floor general, the game manager, like the point guard kind of next to Kevin Durant when he's out there late in game. And we talked about how the Rockets have just looked late. They could definitely use a guard to just orchestrate, and I think you get better moments and games from Sengun. So that does take away because I thought he could be just projected a lot higher by himself, but I'm still there for him. It's definitely been a worse season than I thought.
I just wish he finished at the rim better.
Isn't that part of the game that y'all kind of wanted a little bit though? For him to kind of be
like a point center?
I think it's kind of
a little bit. Yeah, I mean, obviously you want him to be better.
He definitely has
think
the skill set to do it.
I think it's just a lot on his plate to kind of figure out how to do that on a team that's struggling how to win in the fourth quarter. It's a lot. And like I said, being able to, get closer to the basket as a guy that wants to shoot in the paint, not having him to back down from the three-point line and not having to have run a pick and roll with a guy that literally can't shoot. It's so many things that I think you don't want to build around him, but he is working with a lot of negatives, I feel like.
I think if you get him a point guard that he can effectively run a pick and roll with, that is actually a threat.
He's running the pick and roll a lot of times.
Yeah, I think it would be a very nice compliment to him, and it'll make things a lot easier for him. Because then you get him in that short roll. Now he can actually utilize his lethal passing, and he can score. So it opens up the game so much more for him.
You think he is a lethal passer?
He's a really
not
good passer. Lethal, but he's really good at passing.
But I think he's a way above average pass for his position, though. Like, I've seen him, and again, he's had disappointing games, but he's had times where he has picked apart defenses with his passing and not really been that much of a scorer because they're doubling him. I mean, he will post you up and get right to the basket. I don't care who you are. If you're right next to the basket, that's just a good shot. So the teams double him. He's been able to be effective passing the ball. So
I think he's a really good passer, but if you are going to be that much of an offensive system, I think his passing has to be better.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Or he just has to be more efficient.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about the center hubs that we have in the NBA between Jokic. It's unfair to compare anybody to Jokic, but Jokic and then like Joel Embiid in his prime, he may not have been the greatest passer, but he was so damn efficient that like eventually the passing did catch up a little bit, but he had one or the other. And I think Alperen Sengun is very good at both, but I feel like you have to be great at one or the other in order to.
That was kind of my
level.
point, Mike, KB, when they were saying like he need a point like. They do. You would love to have just the better players around you, but some of the things that I feel like a lot of people was gravitating to, especially when we was ranking our centers early, was y'all wanted him to be in this type of position.
Dude, yeah.
So it's like now we can't act like it's working against him because this is how y'all wanted him to be.
No,
utilized.
yeah,
I can agree. I did definitely think that he would come in and be on some like hub point center type stuff, maybe this is just an eye opener moment that maybe that's just not fully who he is. He could just do it in bits and pieces, but not throughout the whole course of a game like we've seen Jokic do.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing honestly pretty good. I mean, the Rockets are still like one of the top teams out. They have been struggling for their expectations, but like he has been an all-star this season. I don't care if it was one of the reserves or whatever, or one of the injury replacements, like he was able to sneak in there and get that all-star. He's been really good this season. I think a lot of the stuff, to your point, is he can make those passes. I think it's just being able to make it more efficient and having those quicker decisions. I talked to him at the All-Star Media game, and he said that's what he really needs to clean up on is being able to make these decisions more quicker and not being able to like have those messy turnovers and where it looks all sloppy. I think that just comes with reps. Like, and having a year like this, yeah, we're looking at them to be a competitor or to try to get a championship. It's a learning year still for a lot of these younger players, like a man, like a Sengun, like a Tari. It's still a learning curve.
Yeah. Next guy we got is Devin Vassell.
Devin Vassell, bro. Impressed.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he's getting better and better as the season goes on.
Yeah, I think you kind of came into the season just like, Devin Vassell is just Devin Vassell. But yeah, he's.
I thought he was, for me personally, I thought he was going to be one of the odd man out. I just thought they had so many.
I could see, yeah. I may have agreed with that. Yeah.
And this is kind of a little bit just like hindsight too. I thought they were going to eventually just make a trade. Teams make a trade to get better during the regular season. He had some value. Like, I like Devin Vassell as a player, and I could see how teams could be like, yeah, we could use that scoring. We could use that perimeter threat. They need it. We see how teams double Vic. We see how teams kind of really clog the paint. He has shot the lights out in some of these big games, and they've needed every one.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. He's been great, and I think that also his defensive impact is grown over the years. Obviously, it helps when you are on a really good team and have a demigod behind you. But I on a night-to-night basis, I definitely feel like he's doing a pretty good job as a secondary defensive guy behind, Stephon Casser's a point of attack. So he's been really impressive.
Yeah. Next guy we got is Jarris Walker.
Oh my goodness, you didn't went through the archive for this one. I have not watched the Pacers in like 3 months, so I can't. I know that early in the season I was really disappointed, but you could tell me he's been averaging 15 for the last 30 games. I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know.
I think it might be somewhere around.
Okay, there we go. Shout out to Jarris.
I think I looked at his game log, and offensively he's been actually putting up numbers.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing defensively because I haven't been super locked into
Jarris Walker, 14 points, 7 boards, 3 assists in his last 10 games. So
okay,
10 games.
You take that. So I can't. No say.
Can't tell you what he's shooting.
I can tell you what he's shooting. In the last 10 games, 45% from the field and 34.7% from three.
It's just tough for me because I don't know if I had any expectation coming into the season.
I did. He was one of my favorite guys in his draft class. So maybe it wasn't for this season, but just like as a player as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I thought with the more opportunity, there would be a bigger breakout, but
I thought that for Nembhard. I don't think I looked at the Pacers like, ooh, Jarris Walker about to take off.
I did a little bit.